We see a lane ward being placed right outside the camp here. They are not going to choose to block the camp. I don't know if I've ever seen a Deadwood Geo lane, so it does sound very aggressive, and I feel like they will be able to kill this Moira. More so than the Oogie. But alas, we are underway. Moira actually doesn't go for the Orb of Zamos here. Goes for the stats and the regen. Mid lane Lord Selforus already putting a lot of pressure onto Doctor. Heal back up there. He continues to get the last hits. He's actually missed a couple. He's on 5 and 2, but Doctor, he's actually doing better, 6 and 1, so a little bit better. Kinesis, he has Lava Surge, so he's valuing that over the Keg Stun, which I suppose that is he has the potential to destroy something. Dig Stun coming in, level 2s are out now. Here comes the Shards of Harkon, they split up nicely. Tarquakes are coming up from Oogie. Moira might end up going down here. Is there another Dig Stun up? There is. It cancels the health potion. The Bloodlust comes out. It will cost Geomancer his own life. So they get the Bloodlust kill on the Deadwood. They give up a kill to Oogie. But I think they were pretty happy with taking the Bloodlust kill. Despite giving Oogie a kill. So we have a double damage rune spawning bottom. And we have Doctor actually doing a little bit better. It's not quite even though. So I believe, oh actually Lord doesn't have his bottle just yet. Doctor might push out the lane here and get the rune, but they don't have a rune ward. Right away. We haven't seen any aggression come out yet from the Magnus Engineer lane. So they are much more passive compared to the Deadwood Geomancer lane. They put some good pressure here onto the Hammerstorm. Engineer taking some return pressure. He might end up going down here as the slows are coming in from Kinesis, but they get the kill onto Hammerstorm. Another Lava Surge from Magnus onto Kinesis. Kinesis, he has his own Lava Surge from Magnus, so he'll stun to safety. But I think they're pretty happy with that. They take out the Hammerstorm. Looks like Doctor did get the first rune, so that's good news for him. That does definitely help him in the mid lane as he is supposed to have a bit of a tough time here. One nuke from the Morser Tissima level 3, taking Doctor to like half health. Bottom lane, we see some pretty good pressure coming out. Here comes a Ephemeral Forge Spawn. He goes with the Shards of Harkon, but they're going to turn it around on the real Moira. Moira, will he end up falling? Here's the question. Geo uses the Dig Stun, hits onto 2. There is mana for a Tarquake, but it looks like Oogie won't go for any kills here. So Moira falls again for the second time. Here comes a Dig Stun into a Rotten Grass, and Oogie's in a lot of trouble. He will go down. The Tarquake's not going to be enough for any return kills. Kinesis looks like he's forced to go back to base. So Engineer and Magnus are starting to put a lot of pressure here. Now on the top lane, Magnus 26 and 3. He is farming really well. Here comes a stun from the Lava Surge into the keg, into the mine, and Hammer will go down 2 versus 1. Not a whole lot he can do there as he just gets caught out. Magnus takes some tower hits, but he is sitting on 430 gold per minute, 101, so he is off to a great start. Same with Dr. Repulsor, 32 last hits against the 29 of Lord, so we're seeing some pretty good creep farm coming out from the side of Team Tim. Doctor now hits the level 6. Lord is also level 6, but sitting on 929 life. I don't think Doctor can really pose a threat by himself, as he is maxing out the contraption, it looks like. Meanwhile, top lane, we have a stun. Double stun coming out onto Kinesis into the mine. It will be enough for the kill. Hammerstorm's going for a return kill, but Magnus has the Steam Bath level 1. He will sit in the Steam Bath. Here comes the hammer throw, though. Will he be able to take him out? Here comes another Lava Surge into a mine. Doctor flies in with the teleport, and they will bring him down. Engineer didn't have mana for the keg there, but not even going to be necessary. Doctor will just take the top rune here, most likely. He might even look to destroy the bottom rune, which would be pretty mean for Lord Sulfuras, as he won't be able to get a rune. It spawns a haste rune. Looks like the illusions actually despawned a little bit too soon, so he wasn't able to destroy the Merrick's rune away from Lord. And pretty even game still so far, but a 500 gold and XP lead so far for Team Tim. It's actually even in terms of kills, 5-5. A port from J-Mancer into the top lane. I don't think this was spotted. And they might look to set up a kill here on the Magnus. I don't think they're too worried about the Engineer. There's a ward placed here by Magnus, which spots out any possible gank attempts. They might even look to cut down the tree. Would be pretty nice for some extra vision. Hammerstorm is going to stun on the Geomancer. Here comes a dig stun from Geo. A 3-man Lava Surge stun from Magnus, though. And Engineer will fall. It will come at a cost, though, of Kinesis. And Energy Field went down. They're going to get some return kills here. Doctor flies in. They get the kill on the Hammerstorm, and Geomancer, he's going to get caught with his dig stun down. So it ends up being a 3-for-1. As Doctor, again, this time with a haste rune, he shows himself into the top lane. And we're seeing some pretty aggressive play coming out from Doctor. So following up that fantastic creep farm, as he's actually even with the Sulfuras, who has now rotated into the jungle. He's had some good rotations into top. So Hammerstorm, he has died 4 times. He is not too happy to be sitting at a 1-4 score. Whereas Mr. Ooga Booga, he's not doing the greatest himself. He's only 265 GPM, but he's 1-1. He's sitting on 38 creeps. So he's got more farm than the Hammerstorm so far. Looks like we have Steamboats completed on Magnus. He's getting pretty tanky. Comes a stun from Magnus into the keg stun. Oh, the keg stun was actually too slow, as Kinesis was able to Lava Surge away. Bottom lane, we see a kill onto Deadwood, as that was Moira and Oogie just running him down, it looks like. Mid lane, Digstone connects onto Doctor, and he will probably end up falling here to the more Certissima unless he can ulti some of the damage away. No, it was not enough. Unfortunate. Stun in the top lane from Hammer Throw into the Geo Crystal Field. They take out the Engineer, but now Magnus, he is pretty tanky. They've used all their spells, and it looks like there's some return pressure here with the Shards of Archon, but they do not get in range. Magnus does stun in, but now he needs to fall back, as there is a Hammer Throw ready to go, but they choose not to go for it. In the bottom lane, haven't talked too much about Deadwood, but he's farming 360 gold per minute. Here comes Doctor into the bot lane. He's gonna zoom. They have the ward here. Here comes the Rotten Grass. It's not gonna connect. Doctor will use the opposite charges, and the Charquakes are gonna come out. One more will secure the kill, and then we'll get the kill onto Deadwood. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we have 3 heroes up here for Team Tim. They are trying to set something up on the Hammerstorm, but he's just taking out the easy camp stack here, and he might have an idea that something is up. Redboard comes out. Kinesis will get spotted here. It looks like stuns come out from both sides. Kinesis, though, he gets taken out. Hammer throw comes down. Lord Self-Forest, though, he has a haste rune. Here comes the energy field, which will actually purge the haste of Lord Self-Forest. A nice use of the energy field there to prevent any kills onto the supporting cast. But Moira, he's finding himself in some trouble here. Here comes a dig stun. It's going to miss, but Hammer comes in with a hammer throw, and they will secure that kill onto the Moira. Deadwood is now here in the top lane. He will take out this Ward of Sight, and that will cue Magnus to retreat, as Oogie given some free reign down here in the bot lane. He is now recovered up to 400 GPM as he's sitting on 68 creeps, so Oogie getting some much needed farm. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Magnus rotates in with Doctor. They take out Lord Self-Forest. Dig stun onto Engineer. He kicks himself backwards, but that will just put him in further danger, and he ends up going down. Deadwood now in the mid lane. He has a Willowmaker. He's going to try to land the Rotten Grass, but not going to connect. Gravewood Punch. Kinesis is going to get his level 6 here in the top lane. He's going to start working on some jungle. Interesting, he picks up the plate mail very early on. And he also picks up a Amulet of the Exile, so it looks like he wants to go for very early Frostfield plate. Have an Invis rune on the Geomancer here. I believe they should know something is up. Doctor, he cannot get his ludicrous speed off in time. Digstone connects, and he will end up going down. That's going to be a tier 1 tower now for Big Ego Crew, as they even up the tower game at 1 tower apiece. Oogie, he could be in some trouble here. Here comes a dig stun. It's going to land. Arcane Vortex, though, from Moira. Crystal Field on top. It will connect and stun them. And they will end up taking down both the Oogie and the Moira. And Kinesis is now here as well. So it is a 14 to 12 hero kill lead in favor of Big Ego Crew, as they have now taken the gold lead back, but not by much. So good news for Big Ego Crew, as Lord Self-Forest is going to steal away some jungle, sitting up 450 gold per minute. Scratch that, make it 465 gold per minute. But Hammer still struggling to find his farm. The 4 deaths. I mean, he has gotten a couple of kills in the most recent minutes, and he's really close to his whispering, so he just needs to get the oh, he decides not to throw the hatchet there. A little interesting. Mid lane we have a fight. Kinesis throws some stuff at Engineer. Energy field goes down. It looks like that will be the end. They get the kill on the Doctor, though, and it ends up being a 2 for nothing, so another solid fight coming out for the Ego Crew, as their team fight game is just so strong early game. There's the Whispering Helm for Hammerstorm, and he will take over the Minotaur to give him some extra attack speed, which I think was a very good decision. And Oogie still farming at 380 gold per minute. So now 16 armor. Lord Selforus, level 12. Oh, I miss a kill. Has double damage. Magnus. By the way, Magnus with a portal key. Damn, he is farmed. That's a 400 GPM Magnus with portal key. Bottom lane, Rotten Grasser will connect onto Doctor. There's a portal key. Lava Surge Stun onto Deadwood. Deadwood will go down. Looks like Doctor might be going for the Hellflower this game. We see Lord Selforus pick up a Berry Rattle. I love the Berry Rattle. There's so much magic damage on the side of Legion. Both their carries are magic damage carries. And they're not really threatening the most physical damage right now. So the Berry Rattle is a perfect pickup. And it will also allow Big Ego Crew to continue to take team fights as they have this massive frontliner in Lord Selforus that also deals lots of damage, so they can't really ignore him either. Veiled Rot up on the Doctor, but we see some counter Veiled Rots coming out from Big Ego Crew. The Moira Ephemeral Forge will spot out, I believe, Geomancer's Veiled Rot. And they actually spot out this Ward of Sight, but decide it's too risky to go for right now. Excuse me. So, Hammerstorm's working on his Twin Blades. And Deadwood, I believe, just picked up his portal key. So they have one portal key now on the side of Big Ego Group. But it's not a super flashy portal key like the Magnus one, where he can set up multiple stuns. The Deadwood, he's mostly going to be looking to get single target pickoffs on either the Doctor or the Oogie, or potentially even the Magnus. Top lane, Big Ego Crew gets a tower kill. Or excuse me, Team Tim. And Big Ego Crew will get the bottom tier 1. Doctor... He's not farming the greatest, but at this rate he will have a decently timed Hellflower. Oogie, I think he just needs the recipe now, and we'll have his Frostfield plate. I think he needs like 150 gold recipe. There's the Frostfield plate on Oogie, so he skips the Gnome's Wisdom this game. Not a whole lot happening right now. No hammer, he's getting there, but he's still gonna need a Shrunken after the Twin Blades before he feels really confident. Mid lane, they get the tower deny. And energy field goes down. Lord Selforus, he's going to try to chase here. Deadwood, he will throw out a grasp, and that will connect. That will be a dead Engineer. Here comes a two-man line stun from Magnus into the eruption. Doctor flies in with the pull onto the Lord Selforus. Deadwood taking the brunt of it. Will he make the escape? He gets the Willowmaker off onto Magnus. Magnus will go down before the Arcane Vortex comes out. So Lord Selforus gets the 1 kill. And now the team support is coming in, but Hammerstorm, he's still looking to keep farming up in the top lane, so they actually get 2 kills for the 1. So Big Ego Crew responded really well here, as the engineer had already died quite early on, and they give up the Deadwood for the Magnus, which is a pretty equal trade. Mid lane Doctor flies in here onto the Geomancer, but doesn't have enough mana to go for a chase. Geo, he's really close to a portal key, and he needs about 250 gold for it. Lord Sulphur is sitting on another almost 3,000 gold. Gonna be interested to see what he buys. I think he continues to tank up though. And although they kind of lack catch, I do feel like the Geo PK will help them quite a bit. But just being tanky, so that their magic damage burst kind of falls off, will be quite good. Mines are here. We have an Arcane Vortex on top of the Crystal Field to prevent some follow-up. Here comes the Shards of Harkon. The Mines, though, do so much damage as they get a kill onto the Geomancer and the Kinesis. And Deadwood, he might go down. He will actually stay alive, so it ends up being a 2 for 2 as they get the kill onto Oogie and Moira. So they trade the 2 supports for the Oogie. It ends up being well worth it. Magnus says hello to Hammerstorm and vice versa. Doctor, he's getting pretty close to a Hellflower. The thing is, though, they are pretty tanky, and although he will have a Hellflower, it'll still be hard for him to get really fast kills this game. He's gonna fly in here onto Doctor with the assistance of Magnus, but the eruption was cancelled by Kinesis' silence, and they turn it around. They do end up losing Deadwood, but they're gonna kill the Doctor and the Magnus in exchange for the Deadwood, so a very nice bait coming out there from Big Ego Crew. Shards of Harkon does connect. The turret does some good damage, energy field down, and the mine secures the kill. Geomancer a little bit overconfident there. Lord Sulphur says hello to Oogie, but he activates his Froststeel Blade and he will run away. And he will be just fine. A little bit curious that he does decide to go for a Gnomes after the Froststeel Plate. Usually when we see the Gnomes, it's before. But he was really feeling the threat of the Deadwood early game, so he decided to go for armor. But I almost kind of feel like he could have skipped the Gnomes here and just went into a bigger item. Something like a Nullstone or a Shrunken Head, or even a Sheepstick would have been just fine. But it's hard to argue Gnomes being a bad item on Oogie, as usually we see that to follow up the Sorcery Boots, and that allows Oogie to sustain himself quite well while he farms. Looks like Deadwood is going for a Shrunken Head. Can't really argue Shrunken Head being not a good item this game. They pick up a Shrunken on Lord, so he's got an Idol and a Shrunken. So very defensive items, but goes with the theme of tanking up. He's going to run down the Engineer here with the Haze Rune. Oogie is here with the Froststeel Plate, but he can't catch anyone. Geo is going to get caught though by Doctor, and what a stun coming out from Deadwood, aka the Willowmaker. Boom. Doctor just evaporates. Looks like Hammer's gonna go for a Kongor here, as they have the kills onto Engineer, Magnus, and Doctor. Magnus actually died to Hammer. I missed that completely. So Kongor will go down in favor of Big Ego Crew. And the Hammer Storm, he's going to have a Shrunken Head here and another 10 gold. So after these Ancients. Ugi's going to work on a stack. Doctor, he does need to be careful. There's a Geo in the area. Moira's gonna spawn her Ephemeral Forge on top of the mines. They're gonna deward this cliff. Geo, he might go for a stun. Nah, he decides it's not worth it. They're thinking about going in. Magnus picks up a tablet. He's sitting on 1900 gold. He had a really good start, but he has started to fall off. He's only 360 GBM, which isn't terrible or anything, but he is going to need some kind of big item pickup. Either that sheepstick or something like a demonic or a shrunken head could be very beneficial for him. Lord is going to get spotted out here by Moira's ward. He picks up a firebrand, so it looks like he might be going for the Dawnbringer. Mana Sunder connects onto Lord Selforus. He pops the Shrunken Head, and he will choose to TP out, but the Arcane Vortex will stop that, and they need to make a decision here what they want to do. Shards of Archon will be missed. Lord Selforus is going to get stunned up by Magnus. The Kegstun will follow, and Lord will go down. Dr. Repulsor is going to port into the mid lane and fly, and Geo, he will go down to the Hellflower. Deadwood, he's going to get ludicrous juked here by the Doctor, and Deadwood, he will get grabbed and he will fall. So the Ego Crew slipping up a little bit here, giving up 3 kills to the way of Team Tim, and they're still in a gold and experience lead, but it does bring the deficit a bit closer for Team Tim. Excuse me. They will spot out the tri-stacked Ancients here, and they might look to steal those with the Ugi, who is currently bottom. Meanwhile, Dr. Repulsor, he's going to push in the mid lane here with the Magnus. Ugi will steal the Ancients. I don't even think he needs to pop Primal Surge. I think he is tanky enough to do this without Primal Surge. So I would say that's a waste of Primal Surge. Allah Akbar Mine Trap being placed here in the Hellborn jungle. Hammerstorm picks up a portal key. So now he has an initiation tool. He's going to tank some mines here. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Doesn't kill him or anything, but takes him down to about half life. Now he will have to lifesteal his way back up to victory. So yeah, Deadwood, he's not finding the most farm. He's been sitting on this Mighty Blade for quite some time. Doctor looks like he's going for a Nullstone. He picks up a Sustainer, and then Ugi just recently purchased the Sheepstick, so he's trying to find a kill target. Now he's gonna find Hammerstorm up here. This could very likely be a kill on the Hammerstorm as he's only sitting on 2/3 life. He avoids the sheepstick with the portal key. What a play. That was a really heads up play coming out from Dutch there on the hammer, just sensing something was up. Mid lane, we see Magnus does fall. Doctor flies in, but he gets hit with an Undying from Lord Sulfuras, and I don't think it will kill him necessarily, but it will force him to go back to base. And I missed that completely, how they caught the Magnus. It must have been with a Geomancer dig stun into a Willowmaker punch. So Big Ego crew, they're gonna push in on this tier 2 tower. They have a DD rune on the Hammerstorm. They might go straight to the Kongor after. With 25 seconds down on the Magnus, this will very likely be a Kongor kill here, unless they can somehow steal it with Doctor, but boy oh boy, that would be really risky to do, because he doesn't have a Shrunken Head or any protective item, and this will be a Kongor.
Kongor has been slain.
Was that a Forge spawn? It looks like it was. Mid lane, we see a dig stun coming in onto Moira. Here comes a stasis smash. 2-man lava surge stun from the Magnus though, and it looks like the supports are falling for Big Ego crew. They will overstep their boundaries and go down. Deadwood was not able to get his Willowmaker off. There is the Frostburn picked up by Lord. He's going to get Hellflowered here by Doctor. He's zooming, but the Shrunken is going to be popped. Opposite charges were already down. Deadwood gets stunned up by Magnus into Engineer stun. Here comes a hammer throw, and Deadwood, he will get his Willowmaker off, but it's not going to be enough for a kill. So 3 kills now going the way of Team Tim, and this could be a tower push, as there are only one buyback. There's only one buyback available for the Deadwood, and he might actually have to use it here. It depends how much Team Tim is willing to commit to this tower. It looks like they will fall back, steal the jungle, and be content with putting, well, I would say some pretty decent pressure on the tower. Take it down to about 800 life. Moira has a portal key now. And Oogie is sitting on 2,400 gold. Magnus may have just completed his Hellflower. He's currently sitting on no gold, so I want to say Magnus has the Hellflower. Forge spawned here, energy field is down, Engineer gets caught more so. Sheepstick onto Kinesis from Oogie. Here comes an Eruption being channeled as Magnus catches Hammerstorm. He will pop the Shrunken to remove the Mana Sunder. Doctor flying around with the regen, and this fight could be disastrous for Big Ego crew. But no, it's not. Doctor gets melted by the Willowmaker, and Oogie goes down as well to the Lord Sulfuras, so Oogie had to run that whole time from Lord, and Big Ego crew turns it around despite having the supports fall yet again, and they got 3 kills for the 2. The Lord will probably finish the Dawnbringer, I would imagine, as he would like to have the mana part. A little surprised he chose not to fill his bottle there with the Merrick's rune. So this will be a Kongor going the way of Big Ego crew. I believe this is their... Oh, it's actually their 3rd Kongor. So we have movement speed on Lord, movement speed on Hammer. Interesting, Deadwood took movement speed. I thought he would take damage. Geomancer actually picks damage, which I suppose that could make sense with the crystal field and movement speed on Kinesis. So most of them taking movement speed. Hellflower on the Deadwood. Oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Sorry. Uh, yeah, I believe somebody ported home. I missed that, actually. But Magnus is up here in the trees. He has the team support sort of nearby. Moira's going to try to catch with his Shards of Harkon. But it's actually Engineer getting caught by Kinesis with that lift. And Engineer will go down. Engineer getting caught by this Ward of Sight here. Placed by Mex. Looks like Hammer, I believe he's going Harkon's Blade. I'm not sure why, but I can't open this shop. That sucks. Anyway, Arcana on Hammer. I'm pretty sure that's Hellflower. Or, sorry, not Hellflower. Harkon's Blade. Because Oogie has lots of armor right now. Magnus channels the eruption. He gets dusted, but Kinesis gets Hellflowered first. And Kinesis will he end up falling? Nice power supply. It takes Magnus quite a bit of time to get that kill. He does get it in the end, but he ends up dropping his Bound Eye, so very greedy play coming out for Magnus there. He drops the Bound Eye over to Big Ego Crew, which I believe they will take that once Kinesis respawns. And Oogie actually goes for a Shrunken Head, which, that's fine. I think he might need a Nullstone as well. Here comes a Willowmaker. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it's going to stun him up. He pops the Shrunken and the Frostfield Plate. He's looking to turn it now on the Geomancer. He will get the one kill, but here comes the Undying on Oogie. Oogie will go down. The Arcane Vortex is late, unfortunately, and Lord Self-Force will come out of that. Hammerstorm with the big hits, taking out Engineer, so they lose Oogie Engineer in the bot lane in exchange for the Geomancer. Not the trade Team Tim was looking for. Deadwood has his Shrunken Head completed as well. Moira is going to get caught out here, and he dies pretty fast to that Harkon's Twin Blades of Hammerstorm. And I gotta say, this game is looking really scary now for Team Tim. Because they have to deal with a freaking farmed Lord Self-Force and Hammerstorm now. And Doctor, unfortunately, is not that scary. I mean, he has one Willowmaker, like, dead. He just dies to a Willowmaker. He only has 8 armor, and he has 1,195 life. So even with the Nullstone, I do feel like he's still not going to be super threatening. He's going to fly to the rune here, and he will die. That's the power of Deadwood. Here comes an eruption from Magnus, but he only stuns up the Hammerstorm. He's going to get hit with an Undying. Stormshare comes out to prevent some damage, but Magnus will go down. Mugi is now spawned. He comes in with the Frostfield Blade. Stuns are coming out from Moira. Sheepstick onto Deadwood. Will they be able to bring him down? Shrunken Head is popped. He will use the clear cutting, and he might make it out alive, but here comes the Arcane Vortex to stop the chase. Lord Self-Force now comes back in. Oogie is getting pounded on by Hammerstorm. Oogie will go down. Energy Field is down, and Lord Self-Force will survive. It's a domination streak coming out for Hammerstorm as they get the kills onto the Oogie and the Engineer. And that might have done it. There are no buybacks on the side of Team Tim. The CC boat is being called, and the racks will get melted by Hammerstorm as he's starting to become very scary. He hits for 460 or something with that brute strength activated, and Big Ego Crew will take the game over Team Tim.